fucking Eubank, man. You fucking bank, bro. Always, always making me look stupid, man. Always longing out my predictions, bro. I'm telling you, yeah. George Groves, my first thought was, you know what, Eubank, yeah. As soon as it got closer to the fight, I saw, Eubank look ridiculous on the pads. I saw Groves look really sharp. Eubank had no coach, but I didn't want to change my mind. Didn't want to change my mind, even though I thought, you know what, this is gonna be Groves. This is gonna be Groves. If I was betting money, I would go Groves. But stuck with my first thought. Yeah. Last time, my first thought, Smith. Yeah. Wanted to change my mind. Wanted to change my mind. Wanted to change my mind. The last minute, changed my mind. Right. Eubank fucking sold me into it. This time, I'm thinking Smith. Yeah. Getting closer to the fight, Eubank's talking about how he's been in Vegas for 4 months, how he's got a nutritionist now, how he's doing the weight properly. He looks better at the weigh-in. I'm thinking, oh, do I change my mind? Do I change my mind? I was like, nah, stick with it. Fucking Eubank. Looks $1 million, man. I mean, it really goes to show what a real boxing trainer can do for you. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time Eubanks had a real boxing coach in his corner since Adam Smith. Not Adam Smith, Adam Booth. Yeah, when he fought Spike O'Sullivan, on an AJ undercard. AJ Dillian White undercard, I believe. Um, and since then, had his dad, he's had Ronnie Shields, who's a caretaker, he's had Roy Jones, who can't, be a boxing coach if his life depended on it. And now you see what happens when you get a nutritionist, you take the sport seriously. Apparently, he's been in Vegas trained for 4 months, not 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Which he said originally. Um, and yeah, he had the right tactics. He was fighting as himself. He had his hands up nice and high. He was active. He was throwing punches. He wasn't moving too much. He wasn't trying to do what the Roy Jones fainting. Um, and when you're yourself, you've got enough energy to see out the fight. From Liam Smith's point of view, I mean, it looked like he was having trouble with his footwork. He was wearing ankle boots, not the full higher traditional boxing shoes. Um, I don't know whether I mean, it seemed to be a problem, but you can't use that as an excuse. I think the main problem Liam Smith had is that he's a pressure fighter. He's used to breaking people down, and I feel like, what I mean, that combination knockout, early knockout maybe just messed him up. When you're a pressure fighter and you start banging people out, now you start, your mindset changes. Now all of a sudden you think, oh, I can punch. I mean, I got these dynamite in my fist. I'm Mike Tyson now. And it seemed like he was looking for, he was looking for that killer combination, but he wasn't slowly, methodically breaking him down, which is the Liam Smith style. So I feel like, yeah, it was a combination of that. I mean, there was rumors that Liam Smith was struggling with the weight. Listen, when you go up in weight, it feels great the first time, but then after that, you just kind of get used to it. And maybe he was just looking a bit too heavy in there today. He didn't have his usual engine. He didn't have his methodical kind of work rate style. He wasn't really fainting and moving as much as he was last time. And but a lot of that you just have to give the credit to Eubank, man. Like I mean, if physically he's got all the advantages, but he didn't have the game plan, right? And this time he had the game plan, and I think he probably negated a lot of what Smith wanted to do, but equally everyone's got to take responsibility. I do think that the Smith camp could have pulled him out earlier, to be honest. And I do rate Joe McNally as a good coach, but there was times in there in the corner where he was just saying so much, and like clearly Smith wasn't listening, man. Smith wasn't there. He had something going on, and he just wasn't listening. So yeah, man, post-fight interviews coming up. I better listen into that. Yeah, I suck and clearly don't know shit about boxing, especially when it comes to Eubank fights. Peace.